Unlike traditional audiometers, the KUDUwave has got the audiometer, the headset and the speakers all in one. Inside each KUDUwave there's electronics. That is the audiometer. Built in there's an insert earphone, little speaker inside the KUDUwave that plays the sound through this tube into someone's ear. So you will typically put a little foam ear tip on this tube, like that. There's a little hole going through the ear foam. You roll it up and you will put it into a patient's ear. So it will be the ear tip plus the headset that covers the ear. The KUDUwave has got an ambidome feature. What ambidome means is an ear tip that goes into the patient's ear, a cup that goes around the patient's ear, and the third thing is the KUDUwave has got a microphone here on the side and on the other side that in real time monitors the ambient noise to make sure it's always quiet enough. It means you can go out to a factory, test patients at a factory, and if a noisy machine comes on, the KUDUwave will indicate to the user that it's too noisy and you cannot continue testing. The same at the school. If the children starts screaming outside, yelling outside, starts playing outside, then the KUDUwave will indicate it's too noisy, you cannot continue testing. One side of the coin is the KUDUwave. The other side is the Imoyo software application installed on a PC. The KUDUwave communicates to the PC through a USB cable. On the PC, you will find the Imoyo software. The Imoyo software is a software operating system that hosts multiple industry standard apps to actually control the KUDUwave. The list of Imoyo apps are as follows. You can take general notes on a patient's history, for instance. You can take a picture of the patient, even with a KUDUwave on his head, to confirm that that is the patient who you tested. You can do speech reception threshold. You can do speech discrimination, that's monosyllabic speech. Furthermore, you can also do tone threshold audiometry. We present pure tones or wobble tones into the patient's ear to determine his thresholds. After I launch the Imoyo software, the software will prompt me for my professional details. First, I have to enter the council that I'm registered with, then my salute, name and surname, and then the registration number with this council. I have to make sure that the date and the time are both correct before I can continue and click on the confirm button. In this video clip, I will explain to you how to organize your patients in the Imoyo software. On the left hand side, you will see that there are folders. On the right hand side, there are patients. If I click on Imoyo Live, you will see there are no patients in the folder. If I click on Mine Occupational Clinic, you will see there are multiple patients in this folder. If I click on the plus next to folder, I can see more folders dropping down. I can add my own folders by right clicking and saying new folder. Engineering in this case, I created the folder and there's engineering. The engineering folder will be empty. If I click on the Mine Occupational Clinic, I can click on John Klango, keep the control button in, also click on Dirk Opperman, and I can move both these patients to the engineering folder, for instance. Those two patients will disappear from the original folder and will be visible in the engineering folder. In this video clip, I will explain how to add a patient. Very important, before I click the new patient button, I have to select the folder where I want to save this patient. In this instance, I'm going to click on the training folder and then click on new patient. A form will appear in front of you where you can enter the patient's details. I will type in the name, then press tab to jump to the next box. Don't use your mouse because it takes long. Type in the surname, tab. I can type the ID number, tab, even the country, but I just start typing to get the country. Tab, passport details, not important in this case. Date of birth. You have to type the date of birth. 1967, year, month, day. It's important to do it in this format because if you click on this drop down and try to find a date, you're going to search forever to find a date. I press tab, get to gender, where I will click M for male or F for female. In this case, I will press F. The next 4 edit boxes are very important to complete because this information will appear on your printed report. First of all, for occupational healthcare, I would like to enter the company that the patient works for, the department, the job title, and the employee number. Or for instance, click here, type that this patient is working for Engineering Holdings Pty Limited. Then I will go and say the department engineering, then the job title engineer, and the employee number. There you are. I don't every single time want to type out Engineering Holdings Pty Limited. If I click on this drop down, you will see there is no Engineering Holdings Pty Limited. I can add Engineering Holdings Pty Limited, and next time it will be in my drop down and you can just click on it to select it. Very important, I don't have to save my information. This information gets saved automatically. Now that I've finished entering the patient's details, I can add my first clinical notes. Here at the top tab, you will find clinical data. Click on clinical data and you will find a list of all the current clinical data notes on the patient. In this case, you'll see there are no clinical notes. I can add a new clinical note by pressing this button. You will find a list of all the clinical notes that you can add for this patient. For instance, I can click on General Notes. I can say on examination, this patient's ear on the left side was red, the right side was normal. I can save this information. You will see the first clinical note was added to the list. I can add a second clinical note. For instance, take a picture of the patient, preferably with a KUDUwave on his head. Click on the image and I save this. You will see on the right hand side the image of this specific note appeared. So here is the previous note, the first note, and here is the second note. I can click here and add other clinical notes too. For instance, the KUDUwave tone threshold audiometry test. In this video, I will demonstrate how to do a KUDUwave test on a patient to the South African standards for occupational healthcare. Under the Clinical Data tab, I will click on New Note to add another note. Right to the bottom, you will see this KUDUwave tone threshold audiometry test. It means tone means the beep sounds played into the patient's ear, and threshold means the softest beep sound a patient can hear. Once I click on it, you will see at the top, connecting to the KUDUwave, connected to the KUDUwave. You have to make sure that the KUDUwave is plugged in to connect to the KUDUwave. A list of possible macros that we call test protocols appear in front of you. These are protocols that's got preset settings to test to certain requirements. For instance, there's
a macro for SANS 10083 baseline test. That's for the Occupational Healthcare and Safety Act standards in South Africa. This one can test to 0 dBHL, but there's also a baseline where you test to minimum of 10 dBHL. There's also screening where you test to a threshold of a minimum of 15 dBHL, and an exit macro where you can test to a minimum of 10 dBHL. For demonstration purposes, I'm going to click on this one. Double click on it and a conditioning page appears in front of you. This is the page where I'm going to train and condition the patient to press the button fast enough. This is also the page where I will put the KUDUwave on the patient's head. This is the page where I'm going to train and condition the patient to press the button fast enough. This is also the page where I will put the KUDUwave on the patient's head. The first thing I do when I get to this page is to click on the talk button. Talk means the microphone on the outside of the KUDUwave will play sound through the tube into the patient's ear. So once the KUDUwave is on the patient's head, he will still be able to hear you. I will then explain to the patient to press the button on the right side of the response button as quick as possible and let go. Once I can see the patient presses the button fast enough on my instructions, I will tell the patient it's going to go quiet. If I click the talk button, it goes quiet. On the left top, you will see there's a present tone button in blue. This is where I can play sound into the left side of the patient at 60 dBs, 1000 Hz. I can also play sound into the right side of the patient's ear. So first of all, I'm going to present the tone. You can see if the patient presses the button. He didn't press the button. I can see the patient didn't press the button because he doesn't know what to do. I can go and click on talk, explain to the patient what he has to do. I feel comfortable, the patient now knows what to do. Click on talk, it goes quiet again. I press present, and there I see the patient press the button. See, there's an orange response. Orange means the patient pressed the button too slow. I will try again and say again too slow. Try again, now it goes better. I try again too slow. If the patient is a slow button presser, I can increase the software wait time for the patient to press the button from 1.5 seconds up to 2 seconds. Let me try again. The patient pressed the button in time. I need 3 greens in a row before I can continue with the test. I can also present the tone in the right side. I click on the right side. I see the patient didn't press the button. Why didn't the patient press the button? It might be because the ear tip fell out of the ear, or because the patient has got a hearing loss in that ear. I might want to increase the dBs in that ear, present the tone, and now I see the patient presses the button. Now I feel comfortable that this patient knows exactly what to do. If I click the next button, the automatic test will start all by itself.
Cup and put it in a sweet spot on the head. It will stay there. Next, I will take a foam ear tip and push it into this tube all the way. I will pinch the ear tip right at the tip so that this black tube won't scratch the inner ear. Then I will roll the ear tip to a small ear tip. I will then insert the ear tip into the ear like that until it stops. Show you until it stops. I will pull the ear and I will push the tube forward and wiggle the ear tip into the ear. Then I will put the cup over the ear again
and do the same on the other side. You will now see an automatic test in action. After I put the KUDUwave on the patient's head and conditioned the patient to press a button in time, I will click the next button. Once I clicked on the next button, the automatic test will automatically start. I'm going to press the pause button to explain to you what you see on the screen. The KUDUwave tests on an audiogram. At the top, one will see frequencies, and on the vertical axis you will see dBs. So the KUDUwave will test from low frequencies, 125 Hz, up to 8 kHz. If you've got a high frequency audiometer, the KUDUwave can test up to 16 kHz. Normal hearing is typically in the top area, 0 dBs, and very loud sounds are right at the bottom here at 90 dBs. You were probably wondering why these bars pop up and down. These bars are the noise that the KUDUwave constantly monitor in real time as the test is happening. It means the microphone on the outside of the KUDUwave will monitor the noise and will represent it in bars at octave frequencies as here. If I keep quiet, you will see the bars will disappear. So you can see that these bars monitor the ambient noise. If you are testing a patient, you must make sure that these bars never go into the light blue area. The moment they go into the light blue area, you have to stop testing. You have to press pause, go and close the door, close a window, or ask the people outside in the waiting room to keep quiet, and then you can press the auto button again. The KUDUwave uses the Houston-Westlake method of testing. It means it will go softer, 10 dBs every time the patient presses a button, and will go louder, 5 dBs when the patient didn't press a button. For instance here, the patient pressed a button. Thumb up means the patient pressed a button. Software will automatically go softer with 10 dBs and present the tone again. Now the patient didn't press a button. Thumb down. It will go louder with 5 dBs, present the tone, and here again we see the patient didn't press a button. It will go louder with 5 dBs, present the tone, and there you can see the patient press the button. Software will automatically mark the threshold and go over to the next frequency. One can also do a manual test by clicking on these buttons. The up arrow means softer, the down arrow means louder, left means lower frequency, right means higher frequency, R means right ear, and you will see the audiogram changes to right side, red, or L for the left side. If you want to mark a threshold, click on this button here. Want to delete a threshold, you can click here. The shortcut buttons on the keyboard for these buttons, the up arrow is the up arrow of the keyboard, the down arrow is the down arrow of the keyboard, the left arrow of the keyboard, and the right arrow of the keyboard. To present a tone, you can press a shift button. Move to the right side, you press R. Move to the left side, you press L. If you want to mark a threshold, you press enter. If you see gray dots start appearing on the screen, it means the patient is pressing the button when no tone was presented. It means that the patient has got no clue what to do. You will have to press a pause button, explain to the patient what to do, and click the auto button again to start the automatic test. At 6 kHz, you can see there's an orange dot here and the orange dot at 25 dBs. That means the patient didn't press a button because he couldn't hear the sound. There's a green dot at 40 and a green dot at 30. It means the patient pressed a button when he heard the sound. At 8 kHz you see a typical malingerer profile. Orange means the patient didn't press a button. But how is it possible that he could hear the sound at 20 dBs but not at 30 dBs? So that green is not possible. You can also see a grey dot here. It means the patient pressed a button when he wasn't supposed to press a button. To the bottom, to the louder sounds, you can see the patient didn't hear the sound yet, 45 dBs, indicated by this orange dot. It's also not possible. So after you did an automatic test, you have to make sure that you don't have orange and green mixed up, because it might indicate that this patient is a malingerer. You also have to make sure that there are not too many grey dots on the audiogram before you can accept the quality of this audiogram. Once the software finishes testing 500 Hz on the left side, it will automatically change over to the right side and start testing. I fast forwarded this video clip. Here you can see the right side was tested. Typically, in a normal hearing person, one will find a flat line at 10 dBs with up arrows. That means this patient could hear down to the soft sound of 10 dBs. The up arrow means we couldn't test softer than 10 dBs because it was officially decided not to test softer than 10 dBs. So typically one will find a blue and a red line at 10 dBs with up arrows. The moment you see that, you know this patient will have a PLH of 1.1. Once the automatic test is finished, the software will indicate to you that the software has finished testing automatically. I can click on the OK button and then on Save and Finish. Here you will see that this current test was added to the list, and on the right hand side you can see a preview of this audiogram. At any stage I can go and change the significance of an audiogram. Here you can see 3 preloaded audiograms. I can, for instance, select that this one was a baseline test. How do I do that? I click on Change Significance, click Baseline. I can, for instance, select that this was an exit test. Click on Exit. You will see that Exit appears here. And these ones were, for instance, screening tests. Why do I have to mark the significance? It's because baseline, screening or exit will appear on the printed report. I can go and print a report to a printer, or I can print to a PDF file. In the following video clip, I will explain to you how to interpret the printed report. Right at the top, you will find the date and the time of the report. On the left hand side, the patient details, and on the right hand side, the KUDUwave details. Here you will find the date of the last calibration. The serial number is also visible. To the bottom of this information, there are 2 audiograms for the left and for the right side. To the bottom of these audiograms, one will find the numeric values of the audiogram for the different frequencies. For instance, at 500 Hz on the left hand side, the patient tested to have 10 dBs threshold. 1 kHz, 10 dBs threshold. To the bottom of these air thresholds, one will see values -6, -5, -7, etc. These values represent the ambient noise while the test happened. It's the noise inside the ear canal, and you have to make sure that these values are always less than 15 dBHL according to the Occupational Healthcare and Safety Act in South Africa. Lower down you will find the PLH value. In this patient it was 2.3, and a little bit lower one will find the false positive response percentage. This is when the patient pressed the button when he wasn't supposed to press the button. A little bit lower you will find the difference in dB between the first threshold tested and the repeat threshold at the end of the test. This must also be less than 15. If you need support, then please visit our website at www.imoyo.net. There you will find a support section with frequently asked questions and advanced solutions to most of the questions you need answered. Please log a support ticket if you require advanced support.